Do, 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 do.
Joe,
Yes,
official. When the drapes come down, it's enclosed city.
seriously. Thank you, Matthew. Hello? Anybody there? Oh, that's unused.
No, it's easy.
She go. Hello? Merry Christmas.
How's Tom?
Just unmuted. I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Doing okay. You're the only one I can see, so.
Oh,
Are you the only one at the meeting?
well, I see Jessica just came on.
Of course, I'm early, so.
Yeah.
Joe Williams, DOG's on, just on listening. Hello? Anybody home?
We're here. Welcome.
Matt Meunier from Miradoura.
Hey, Matt.
Anybody home?
We're here. Do you hear us?
Yes, this is Joe Williams, field rep for DOG. I'm listening to you today.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for joining us.
I enjoy it. Thank you for inviting me.
We'll give it a couple more minutes because we were having some issues with the Zoom link, so I think it kicked a few people off. So let everybody some time to get back on. Kevin, whenever you want to get started.
All right, good afternoon. This is Kevin Beatty. I'm the Vice Chairman for the Kentucky Regional Planning and Development Agency Board of Directors. I'll go ahead and call the meeting of September 24th to order. It is 2:02 p.m. For information, I'd ask everybody to unmute your lines right now for the roll call, and then once roll call is over, if you wouldn't mind remuting. That way we don't get any background noise. So Jared, I'll turn it over to you for roll call.
Thank you. Honorable John Black. Honorable Bernard Bowling.
Here.
Honorable John Logan Brent. Honorable Sean Crothers. Honorable Byron Chapman. And Mayor Chapman is not here today. That's why we're fortunate to have Kevin sitting in for him. Mayor Chapman is jumping out of an airplane with the Golden Knights at Fort Knox today. So he was jumping out at 14,000 feet. So I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell after that. But Honorable Beverly Chester Burton. Honorable Jack Kaufman. See Mayor Burton and Jack on here. Mr. Matt Munet for Honorable Bill Deeriff.
Here.
Honorable David Eaton.
Here.
Mr. Kevin Beatty. Mr. Jeff O'Brien for the Honorable Greg Fisher.
Here.
Honorable Jeff Gahan. Mr. Keith Griffey.
Here.
Honorable Treva Hodges.
Here.
Honorable Dan Eisen.
Here.
Mr. Andy Crouch for the Honorable Mike Moore.
Here.
Honorable Todd Pollock. Honorable John Riley.
Here.
Honorable Joe Robinson. Honorable Jerry Summers. Honorable Jim Travis. And the Honorable David Vogel.
Beverly's here.
And we have 12 members and we have Mitzi here. If Mitzi could be a voting member until we have anybody else that might join, and that way we'll have a quorum. Mitzi, are you on?
I am.
Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum and can conduct business.
All right, thank you. Next item up for business is item number 4, approval of minutes. That will be for the meeting of Thursday, August 27th. If you would, when you make a motion in a second, simply state your motion and your name, and we'll get that into the record. So do I have a motion for the minutes of August 27th?
I make a motion, Beverly Chester Burton.
Second, Andy Crouch.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, move on to item number 5, August financial statements. I'll turn it over to Tom Pope.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is the August financial report. And as you may recall, the budget that is reflected on the first page on the summary of elements, it's basically, it's a continuation budget. The only thing that changed from the ending FY20 budget was we added one new activity in social services and just the revenue amount so we could start carrying out that activity. And since then, we've had the EDA COVID response, $196,000. in CED. But these budgets will have to be revised once we get our final information. We have yet to receive our final information from Dale on the social services program or on the CED funding. So it's hard to tell much this early in the year, but we've been watching our spending very carefully. We've not given any raises until we find out what our funding is going to be, and we're not doing any out of region travel. So our costs are just those that keep us operating as we had at the level in FY20. So I don't know how much we can tell, since these budgets will need to be revised, and we didn't even put the line item budgets in again for the same reason, because those are going to change. But we are watching our spending and don't anticipate any problems unless we get some very drastic cuts. And the final part of the financial report is the balance sheet, and it shows we're in a sound financial position. I'll be glad to answer any questions anyone might have.
All right, thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom? Hearing none.
John Riley will make a motion to accept the financial report.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second?
David Eaton, City of Shelbyville, I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is a legislative update. I know we're supposed to hear an update from Ms. Hampton. I know she is on another call, and we are awaiting her availability. So we're going to move on down to the agenda. We will come back to her whenever she is available. Item number 7 is Transportation Policy Committee, an update from Amanda Spencer. Amanda.
Thank you, sir. We had a productive MPO Policy Committee meeting just before this meeting. And our primary purpose and action item today was the approval of a project management guidebook, PMG. And we're always happy over here at the MPO to come up with another acronym, and this gave us that opportunity. The PMG, it outlines the rules that sponsors must follow as they administer projects that are funded with the dedicated funds that come to the MPO. So that's Surface Transportation Block Group in Kentucky and Indiana, Transportation Alternative Funds in Kentucky and Indiana, Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Funds, and Highway Safety Improvement Funds, CMAQ and HSIP. Those two are just in Indiana. And the PMG outlines how phases can be shifted from year to year, limits around cost increases for those projects, all the reporting requirements. This document is a product of many, many months of work by several of our committee members who served on the working group. And our goal was really to reduce administrative burdens on the project sponsors while increasing accountability and ultimately delivery of those dedicated federal funded projects. We also brought back to TPC this month the public involvement report. So just shared with the TPC what we're hearing from the public over the last couple months, and we highlighted our refreshed public participation webpage, where folks can go there and see all the different ways to connect with our staff, and also use our new interactive map application where they can identify location-specific concerns or ideas at any time. And you can check that out on KIPDA.org under Transportation Public Participation. Elizabeth Park presented to TPC the draft Coordinated Human Services Transportation Plan, and she received approval to take that document out for public comment. The coordinated plan reflects transportation needs for older adults and individuals with disabilities in our 9-county region. It was truly a collaborative effort between KIPDA, TARC providers, and the public. And FTA Section 5310 funds, which TARC awards, those are tied to the awarding of those dollars are tied to the priorities that we outline in this coordinated plan. And that public comment window that we'll move into now is between October 19th and November 2nd. That will include a virtual public meeting on October 27th. We also updated the TPC on the Amendment 2 schedule, and that's the second opportunity to make changes to the MTP and TIP. Those were just approved, those new documents were just approved by TPC in February. And again, second opportunity to make changes. We received 86 requests for new or revised projects to incorporate in our planning documents. We are currently validating the data, working with sponsors on any questions, and determining which of those are minor changes that can go, that can proceed by administrative modification. For any of those that do need to be amended, we're going to move next into air quality conformity activities, and then we'll go into public comment, that same public comment window that we have for the coordinated plan, that same October 27th virtual public meeting. And then from there, we'll bring a recommendation back to TPC in November, and we'd look to have federal approval of Amendment 2 in December. We also had the privilege today of hearing a presentation on current Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Riverport and truck planning initiative, parking planning initiatives by the Cabinet's Freight, Rail, and Waterways Coordinator, Jeremy Edgeworth. We do not have committee meetings, technical or policy, planned in October. We'll be back in November. I'd be glad to answer any questions, and I do ask for board approval of my report.
All right, any questions of Amanda? Okay, do I have a motion to accept her report?
Todd Pollock, I so move.
Keith Griffey, second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you. Did I hear a comment? All right, moving on to item number 8 is Division of Social Services Business. Lynn Evans. Lynn.
Good afternoon, everybody. We have kind of a different request today that needs to be approved by the board. The Department of Aging and Independent Living made application to the Office of State Budget Directors this year in request of some additional funds to expand and extend the meals that we're providing throughout our region. And so if you'll look at the agenda item number 8, our request is kind of open-ended. We're requesting that the board approve receiving and dispersing the Dale CRF, they're calling it Coronavirus Relief Fund, for congregate and home delivered meals, potentially extending the delivery during the COVID-19 pandemic period. These funds will be available to us through December 31st of this year at a first come, first served basis for all of the ads across the state. So I don't have a specific amount because, as it says, it's on a first come, first served basis. We have 2 plans in place so that if we do run out of the CARES and COVID dollars before December, we will apply for these funds. If there's still some available, great, we'll move forward. But we have a plan B that if the state has already expended all of these funds, we still have a plan in place. So I'd just like to ask for approval to receive these funds from the state as they have committed them.
All right, thank you, Lynn. I need a motion to approve the executive director to sign documents and receive these funds.
I make a motion. Beverly.
Todd Pollock, I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on to item number 9, voting during the COVID-19 pandemic. Vanessa Veselina Romanoff. I practiced that and I got it wrong. I apologize. Veselina.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Agenda number 9, 2020 general election. Election day is about 6 weeks away, and to ensure the health and safety of voters, election will be conducted in a different manner due to the pandemic. And last month, Governor Beshear and Secretary of State Adams announced the plan for general election. Generally, there will be 2 options for voting: absentee ballot by mail, or vote in person early, or vote on election day. And state officials and different entities are working to educate voters on their options and to make sure that everyone is aware of some key dates. In Kentucky, the option to vote absentee is for everyone who is concerned with contracting or spreading COVID-19. And people who choose to vote absentee have to request a ballot, which can be done on the online voter portal. And the last day to request an absentee ballot is October 9th. The ballots must be postmarked by November 3rd and received by November 6th. And another important date is October 5th, which is the last day to register to vote. GoVoteKY.com is the website people can visit to register or update current registration if needed. Early voting begins on October 13th, and each county will have at least one voting supercenter where people can go to vote regardless of their precinct. And in accordance with CDC and state guidelines, voters will need to wear a mask. In Indiana, the election is expected to more closely follow the standard state election procedures. Some people may be eligible to vote absentee, which includes a mail option. And to vote absentee by mail, Indiana voters must complete an ABS mail application. The application to request a vote by mail ballot must be received no later than October 22nd. And some key dates in Indiana: last date to register to vote is October 5th. And the first day of early voting is October 6th. And thank you. This concludes my report.
All right. Thank you, Vesselina. That item does not require any action. Do we have any questions of Vesselina? All right, thank you. Moving on to number 10, Regional Planning Council and Regional Water Management Council, Danielle Story. Danielle.
Hello, how are you all? Yep, so this is just an announcement, so no action is needed on this. I'm just announcing that our Regional Water Management Council meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 13th at 1:30 via Zoom. Jory Becker, the Environmental Engineering Branch Manager with the Kentucky Division of Water, will be the guest speaker. He will provide the council with an overview about the Public Water and Wastewater System Infrastructure Task Force that he will be serving on as one of their citizen members. The council will also be approving county and regional water and wastewater project priority rankings for fiscal year 21. Our regional water management coordinator, Justin Carter, is almost finished conducting all of our county water management meetings, and we'll have the regional rankings ready to be reviewed and approved before the council on October 13th. The rankings will be used to help assist systems in applying for state revolving loan funding for projects that are a priority for them and their community in the next year. KIPDA staff is also here to administer all or portions of those loans if the system gets invited for funding through the SRF program. Additionally, the Regional Planning Council will be holding its meeting. It's the first one in a while, but we will be holding the Regional Planning Council meeting via Zoom on October 13th as well at 11 o'clock. The council will hear a report on the upcoming update to the hazard mitigation plan, as well as the SEDS update, which is going to be including an update to the resiliency section to include a pandemic economic recovery response. And they will be getting a breakdown of the resiliency plan that KIPDA will be writing in response to the EDA pandemic response. So we'll be updating the council on all those plans moving forward and how they can be involved. And that's it. That concludes my report.
Well, thank you, Danielle. Any questions for Danielle? All right, nothing there of action. We'll move on to item number 11. Every commute counts. Stacy Burton. Stacy.
Hi, thank you so much. Just for a brief update on the KIPDA Regional Rideshare Program, Every Commute Counts. You can refer to agenda item 11 for just a little bulleted summary. It's page 26 of the packet. First, I just want to take this opportunity to commend the staff of Every Commute Counts. They've been incredibly agile, nimble, and flexible during this time, during the shifting sands brought on by the pandemic. I know that everybody is going through a lot these days, but the staff has been and continues to be wonderful to work with. Speaking of shifting, basically in response to the pandemic at the end of March, we had been going out with a more well-rounded rideshare messaging, advertising, and marketing campaign, and we then moved primarily to telework in response to the pandemic, while still being supportive of other rideshare modes. Telework was where the majority of our commuters who were registered with us and the other public were going, so we thought it appropriate to make it the primary focus at that time. In addition, we've created rideshare policies as they relate to COVID-19, how to rideshare as safely as possible during this time based on resources provided by both states and the federal government. We've published those on our website as well as social media and revisit them regularly every time any new guidance comes out, just to keep everybody as safe as possible. Some good news is with the pandemic, CARES Act funding did become available, and with the help of Amanda and Tom and Tark, we were successfully able to secure approximately half of our annual budget for fiscal year 2021 through CARES funding if it should be needed. So far, Tom has kept us in good shape, and we have not had to access those funds. Hopefully that pattern will continue as van pools do continue to return. The van pool program is probably what we're best known for. And from mid-March to April 1st, 2020, we dropped from 66 active van pools down to 11. The 11 continue to carry essential workers to federal jobs as well as manufacturing jobs throughout the region. In May, we were fortunate. We started adding van pools back. We're currently up to 24. I know the handout says 25, but since the time the handout was prepared and today, we have had one van pool who decided that they were not using it regularly enough and went back to temporary suspension. All of our van pools that we've been in contact with who are currently suspended, all of them but 2 do plan to come back as soon as we do continue to kind of regularly commute and return to the work site. In order to keep our commuters engaged during this time, we have run several commuter challenges. A couple were specific to KIPDA and the rest were open to the commuting public, anybody who was registered with us. I didn't know if all of our board members were aware that we did have this capability. You can create teams, get people to compete against one another, and it shows your air quality and fuel savings, which is fun. And it's been a nice distraction from time to time during the pandemic. So I highly recommend, and if you would like to take advantage of that, please get in touch with me. Also, in order to keep our commuters engaged, especially those van poolers who temporarily suspended their van pool membership, we have continued to reach out to them and will continue to reach out to them on a regular basis. This includes individual emails, group emails, our newsletter, the Every Commute Counts website, as well as social media. We know that a lot of people right now are apprehensive about ride sharing. Some people don't have a choice. That is their only mode of transportation. We don't want to push anyone into anything that they don't feel is a good fit for them right now. But we do want to make sure that our commuters are aware that we're here and we're ready to help them in any way that we can when they're ready to return to ride sharing. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. There is no action required.
All right, thank you, Stacy.
I've just got a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
First of all, on the people who participate in the rideshare program, are most of these people known to each other and they come as a group, or is it one individual and somebody else from the area pops up to join that person?
Sure. The good news about van pooling, although we don't have it as a selling point, is that these are known people. A van pool is a fixed set of people who know each other and belong to one particular van pool. So it's the same 8 people that you're going to travel with each and every day. So if something should happen in the unfortunate event, it makes it very easy to contact everybody else that you've been in contact with on the van.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is when a group is formed, do they all know each other and come as a group to get in the program? Or are there someone who starts the ball rolling and others are found in the area to join in?
When a group starts, typically they are all known to each other. And we sit down when a group starts and actually meet with them to kind of make sure that everybody understands the concept and the day-to-day operation of a van pool. But as a van pool gets up and rolling, they do add additional van pool members as their space and seating allows.
And most of these destinations go from one gathering point to a immediate final destination, or could there be a stop or two along the way?
We have both. We have those that are direct, one meeting destination directly to the work site, and then we have others that consist of multiple pickups, both from their origin to multiple drop-offs at their destination. Multiple drop-off destinations include both Frankfort and Fort Knox.
Okay, the reason I'm asking these questions is that you may be aware that we spent quite a bit of time and effort and money getting a TARC bus stop out here at Apple Patch in Crestwood. Very nice parking location, meeting location, and now TARC has pulled the rug out from under us. So the van pool thing, if it were promoted out here properly, could be a very good replacement and an excellent place to park cars and meet with your van and so forth. And I've recently run across something new to me. Scheduling all these meetings that we go to. Found somebody sent me information about a website called Doodle, something you can buy to help schedule meetings, and I thought that might be very useful in actually finding people who can share rides and using that, as a point of a beginning, at least, of organizing a group.
Sure, no, those are great ideas. The good news is we have one van who currently isn't active. It's the Army Corps of Engineers based out of Cincinnati, and they actually park at the park and ride lot there. They were at the temporary lot, and now the van has actually been moved over. So when they're ready to return, they will be meeting at the new park and ride lot there at Apple Patch. Also, the Doodle poll stuff is a wonderful tool. The good news is our software also possesses the same. If you put in the times, we can help match folks up. So either way that goes, yes, we're definitely ready to help more people ride share in any way we can, and would love to meet with you in order to discuss different ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Stacy? All right, thank you for the report. No action is required there. We will move on to item 12, the SHIP program and Medicare open enrollment update. Jennifer Craig. Jennifer.
Hello and good afternoon. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Medicare open enrollment during the pandemic. Like all things with social services, pandemic goes hand in hand, and the open enrollment, this is the only time of the year that beneficiaries can reevaluate their Medicare coverage and make any changes to it. Those changes will be active on January 1st. So that doesn't stop during a pandemic, and we've got to adjust to try to help these beneficiaries understand the importance of this time of year and also help them choose the best plans that are available to them. So KIPDA has 47 SHIP counselors within the region, and they help the beneficiaries understand Medicare and all of the enrollments and eligibilities that go along with it. The SHIP counselors provide unbiased advice and information to the beneficiaries and their caregivers. This time of year is typically very busy for all of our counselors, and with the pandemic, we have to figure out how to help these without being able to do some of the traditional things that we've done in previous years. So this year, instead of going out into the community, we are hosting 5 open enrollment information sessions throughout the enrollment period via Zoom. We are going to be posting it on social media with our community partners and our providers, and they're going to help us spread the word about these sessions and encouraging beneficiaries and their caregivers to attend any way we can to get the information out there. The SHIP program is also going to do a mailing of approximately 3,000 of our bi-monthly social services newsletters, and we are going to distribute about 1,500 to home delivered and congregate meal clients. This issue of the KIPDA News Social Services newsletter is dedicated to all things Medicare. It also has a plan comparison worksheet that the beneficiaries can fill out and return to us for personalized comparisons from one of our 47 SHIP counselors. The link to the newsletter can be found on the KIPDA Facebook page, and if you haven't signed up to receive it, you can also sign up to receive it on there. The form and one of our SHIP brochures are included in the packet starting on page 27. Please feel free to distribute any of this information throughout your community. Also within the packet is information on Medicare and COVID-19. There is so much misleading information floating around regarding coverage and scams that I wanted to include this information in your packet. This is information from CMS regarding that Medicare, what Medicare will cover, and regarding tests, vaccines, telehealth, and some of the scams that are going around. Please feel free to distribute that within your community also. One of the best things that has come out of 2020 thus far is the motto, we will get through this and we will get through this together. Medicare open enrollment during a pandemic is a challenge, but the SHIP counselors at KIPDA can totally do it. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any questions for Jennifer? All right, no action is required on that item either. Up next is item number 13 in the agenda, upcoming veteran events. Dia Erpenbeck. Dia.
Hi, everybody. Even though that says Vestalina Romanoff on the bottom, I am Dia Erpenbeck. I am a veteran. I also belong to the Veteran Partnership Coalition that is here in Kentucky and Indiana. And we do have two upcoming events. One of them is actually tomorrow. It is the annual summit, and unfortunately we cannot all meet. So we are having it on a Zoom. It is from 10 to 12:30, and we're going to discuss some different topics that relate to caregiving for the veterans. If you would like any information regarding this, it is to bring partners together. And this one that we had last year, or the year before last, sorry, it was incredible. And the room at the hospital for the VA was completely filled with other partners that help veterans out in the community, from homelessness to feeding veterans to finding them employment. It was truly a wonderful sight. So I was excited to be a part of this group. And this year, because of the pandemic, we are doing a appreciation for our veterans, and we're doing it around the day of Veterans Day. So it's in November. So I apologize for the agenda item on here. We do not have any events in October, but we have it in November. The day before Veterans Day on the 10th, veterans will be advised that they can pick up appreciation in a bag, and the bags are going to be backpacks. The backpacks will be filled with various tangible items, including socks and hand sanitizers and face masks, water bottles, and then also information from these partnerships for different resources that they can use out in the community. So at this point right now, we are up to 300 bags. We determined that we would break them down by dispersing them 100 into Kentucky, 100 into Indiana, and those that are living, or not living, but that are homeless. They're probably registered with maybe HUD or a couple other places that they can pick up one of these backpacks. So if anyone is interested in that, if you are a veteran or if you know of a veteran that would be in need of the backpack, just contact me and I can put you in touch with how to get one of those picked up. The ones here in Kentucky are going to be picked up through 7 counties locations. So each, like Bullitt, Henry, Shelby, Spencer, and Trumbull will all have those bags dispersed into those county offices, and they can pick them up there. And this does not require any action by the board. I appreciate you letting me come and advising you of what these events are this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dia. Any questions for Dia? All right, continuing to move on. Item number 14, KIPDA business email compromise. Jennifer Wall. Jennifer.
Thank you and good afternoon. You might recall that we had an email breach early this year. As a brief review, we coordinated our investigation and response with the insurance company and their recommended legal team and cybersecurity experts. Letters went out to 3,603 people who might have possibly been affected. And we also placed a notice on our website for anyone who couldn't be reached by mail. We offered a free year of identity theft protection for anyone whose social security number or financial information might have been exposed. September 3rd marked the end of the notification period, and the website notice has been removed. In total, 33 people called to get more information, and 55 people activated the identity theft protection service. 413 letters were returned because the person had moved and left no forwarding address. To date, we still have no indication that any data was used inappropriately by anyone. We also gave notice to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and several state regulators. The Indiana Attorney General's office quickly closed their investigation, noting KIPDA's cooperation and timely response. And the lead attorney said it was the first time in his memory that the AG's office did not send follow-up questions. The federal investigation is still ongoing, and we hope to have it closed in the near future. Overall, the number of people exposed was less than the average for a typical breach, and the number of calls and credit protection activations was less as a percentage too. We will continue to coordinate with the insurance company and the legal team as needed until all investigations are closed. And this concludes my report, and it does not require any action.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the good work and the quick response to that. Any questions of Jennifer? All right, continuing to move on. Item number 15, September personnel report. Kelly Cecil. Kelly.
Thank you. So we had one hire in actually the end of August. So it was August 31st, didn't make last month's report. But Gina Hasner has been hired as the Participant Directed Services Accounting Supervisor, which falls in the Division of Finance. Gina has a bachelor's degree in management technology from Missouri Southern State University. And she comes to KIPDA from Scapecchio, where she was an operations manager. We did have two people that were transferred and promoted. Karina Petruk, who was formerly a part-time Michelle P. Medicaid waiver case manager, became a full-time home and community-based waiver service advisor effective September 7th. We had Jenny Liu, who was our former PDS accounting supervisor, was promoted to our fiscal officer in the Division of Finance. That was also effective September 7th. We had two resignations. November Taylor resigned as a service advisor in social services effective August 28th. And then we also had Sarah King, who resigned as support staff in social services effective September 4th. Right now, we have one part-time service advisor position in the Division of Social Services and a new position in the Division of Community and Economic Development, which is called an Economic Resiliency Planner position that is full-time, and we are in the process of interviewing for that position. These positions, the job descriptions and salary information can be found on our website at kipda.org/careers. Currently, we have 81 full-time permanent positions, 2 part-time permanent, and 6 full-time temporary positions. If there are no questions concerning my report, action is requested to accept this.
Thank you, Kelly. Any questions of Kelly? All right, hearing none. Do I have a motion to accept the report?
Motion to accept, Judge Ison.
Bernie, second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 16 is a lease renewal for 11,492 Bluegrass Parkway. Jarrett.
Thank you. If you all would refer to your board agenda item 16, that is page 33 in your packet. The kind of a good segue from Kelly's report is we are currently at 89 staff members. As KIPDA grew, we had to look for additional space. Our transportation division is located within walking distance, a couple 100,000 yards from our main office at 11,492 Bluegrass Parkway. In the transportation division, we have 20 employees. That includes the Every Commute Counts program, our GIS division, and the transportation planners. At this point, we need to renew the lease. As Kelly went over, we have 89 employees. The parking lot here has 57 spaces. So as you see, we've outgrown what we have currently in our Commonwealth building. So we have been offered 3 different lease options through discussion. The first, they're all based on price per square foot, and it goes lower depending on the number of years that you do the lease for. We have still, as Tom discussed, a lot of uncertainty in what our budget is going to look like in the coming years. So the recommendation that we would have would be to enter into a 2-year lease. As you can see on the handout, there's some termination agreements that we've come to, that we've agreed to, just in case we did see the funding change and we were able to move people back into this building. But our plan currently is to continue operating through the transportation at the Bluegrass Parkway office space. We've invested a good amount of infrastructure in there with our server room. And then in addition to the parking for staff, we also have our Every Commute Counts vans that are parked in the space down the street. So again, I would like to continue the lease at Bluegrass Parkway, and my suggestion would be the 2-year lease option, and open to any questions you all may have.
All right, thank you, Jarrett. Any questions of Jarrett on the proposal for a 2-year lease on the Bluegrass Parkway property?
I'll make a motion to authorize the executive director to execute a 2-year lease.
I'll second that motion. Todd Pollock.
All right, who was the one who made the motion, please?
John Riley.
All right, we have a motion and second to accept staff recommendation of a 2-year lease on the Bluegrass Parkway office space. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that item passes. An update before we move on. We have not received word that Ms. Hampton will be joining us for the legislative update, so we will get with her and try to get her here at a future meeting. Obviously, her previous engagement ran long. I'm now going to share my screen with Jarrett, as he had a computer die on him. So bear with me as I turn it over to Jarrett for the executive report.
Thank you. As I'm sure a lot of you all are used to, we are doing a lot of Zoom meetings now, so my battery died. So I apologize, but the next agenda item are the intergovernmental reviews. These 2 items have been reviewed by the counties and are ready for action. They can be taken together, both items A and B.
All right, do I hear a motion for both items collectively?
John Black, LaGrange, I'll make the motion to approve.
David Vogel, second.
That won't need any abstentions.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Right.
Opposed? All righty. Executive Director's report, Jarrett.
Well, I want to make for the record, since the roll call of Mayor Black Judge Polak and Judge Vogel have all joined, so just want to let you all know that we do have you all recorded as present. And I also want to take the time to welcome, I see the new Deputy Judge Executive in Shelby County, John Park, joined us. I just want to welcome him and introduce him to everybody. And additionally, Joe Williams, are you still on? Joe Williams with the Governor's Field Office?
I'm here.
Is there anything you'd like to share with the group?
Oh, no, it's, I know most of them in the group. It's always a pleasure to work with KIPDA. We do believe in ads and do believe you do a great job. And again, if anybody's got any questions for me at any time, everybody knows how to call me. The only thing I would like to stress to a lot of the people is your CARES funding. Make sure you hang on those receipts and get them turned in. We don't want you to go without any money. Thank you.
So the next thing, I just want to let everybody know that in the comments section, Jessica's Division of Social Service shared some information from their reports earlier. We will be sending that out also, but just wanted to let you know that it has been shared in the chat feature. And finally, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I know you all are busy, so I appreciate your all's time. As Kevin said, Shelley was unable to join this afternoon, but we will try to reschedule her possibly next month. So we have the board that will be meeting on the 22nd, Thursday, October 22nd at 2 o'clock. No TPC, as Amanda mentioned, and that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Jarrett. Is there any other business to come before the board this afternoon?
Yes, Mayor John Black here. I'm still concerned about John Logan Brent of Henry County. Does he need to get an internet connection or Wi-Fi up to Henry County or what? Daniel Story, maybe you can help him with some economic development money because we really need to have him back with us. I haven't seen him since at least March. I will say that we have been in pretty constant communication working with Judge Brent, so he is still doing well. So you can rest assured with that. Just tell him Mayor Black's concerned about him, please. I will share it. Thank you.
He would just like me to make a motion to adjourn the meeting, I think.
Oh, yeah, he always liked to adjourn and get out. I realize that, John Riley.
All right, thank you, Judge Riley. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it, Mayor Black.
All right, anybody opposed to adjourning? Thank you and have a great rest of the day.
Bye-bye.
Computer can hold out for 5